It's
Okay, we gotta restart. I'm gonna need it. I fucking hit
oh
start streaming instead and not
oh
recording. So now that was live for a little bit. That's so fucking funny. Oh my god, bro. There's no way I just did that. That's really unfortunate. Notification went out and everything, bro. That's so good. I am such a fuck up.
wait, hold on, man. I missed out on some channel points.
Oh, son of a bitch. I mean, it's over now. It's done.
Shit.
Oh man,
Oh yeah,
what?
there it is. Crusty Lovin' live Destiny 2.
Destiny 2, bro. Fuck me. Well, it's okay. There's no way. Okay, well, I guess there's another organic way to start it. Hey, carry on. My fault. My apologies.
Work out.
We're doing it live. Literally.
Oh no. Well, yeah, so this week at Bungie is 5/19/2022. As of recording, it is right on the cusp of 5/20. DMG takes the wheel for this time around. Unfortunately, we kind of have to start with a little bit more bummer note. And the following passage is unedited directly from DMG, and it says, "Before we dive into our final 12 of the season, we'd like to spend a moment focusing on an important message that our Black at Bungie Inclusion Club published on Tuesday." For those of you that don't know, Black at Bungie is a new it's a new club. It is an inclusion club where they want everyone to feel like their identity is welcome. It's one of like the core values at Bungie, and it is very important to the core of what Bungie to represent. Our hearts go out to the victims of the tragedy that occurred at Buffalo, New York last weekend, and anyone impacted by this act of violence. Bungie, our full statement and pledge that all profits from the Be Heard pin on the Bungie store will be donated to the Southern Poverty Law Center for at least 1 year. Their statement can be found on the TWAB. There's a link to it. They also have released, like, their statement is another post released in tandem with the TWAB. The Southern Poverty Law Center, and this is kind of off script a little bit, is it's like a nonprofit legal advocacy organization. They do a lot of civil rights representation and public interest litigation. They're based out of Alabama, obviously in the United States, and they are a very, I guess, very good nonprofit kind of group, and they do a lot of good work. And personally, I think that this is a great kind of step to show support.
Yeah.
The Be Heard pin is going to be, I think it's available. It has been available for since November, and it's unfortunate. We don't want to.
Tragic.
Yeah, there's really not too much more to say about it. I would, if you're curious, I would, and I want to show you support. Definitely check out their statement that they released.
Yeah, I think it's really good for Bungie to be like addressing this.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I don't want to like highlight something so like just vile,
right?
And I don't want the it to be in the spotlight for any sort of any amount of time, because it's just tragic and awful in every way. So it's good that they're highlighting it, but I guess it's a good initiative for them to be like reallocating funds for this Be Heard pin in such a way.
Right.
I'm very, very happy that they're doing so.
I mean, we can kind of, I guess, move on. It's like I said, like it's trash, and there's really not much
to start on, but
about it. But this week at Bungie, Guardian Games is coming to a close. We are but days away from new season. That's right. Guardian Games is nearing its end. Warlocks are dominating as of this writing.
Yes, sir.
Literally not even a competition. Will they hold on for their first Guardian Games victory?
Probably not. I choke all the time.
There's still a chance. There's still a chance, Titans. Come on, we can do it. Actually,
I'll hop
not
on my
true.
Titan for you. I'll hop on my Titan for you.
Yes. Our social media channels will also tell, and you might be able to do the math by visiting the podium in the tower, as they might have such a commanding lead that Titans and Hunters couldn't possibly catch up to their space match. Just you wait, DMG.
Oh, you're wrong, man.
I think DMG was in support of the Hunters. I think that was in the last TWAB, if I remember correctly.
Hippie was Titans and DMG is Hunters.
Yeah.
And then there was another developer that was happy about the Warlocks winning.
Osmo, maybe? I honestly, I don't remember. Right. But I guess we're just a few days out from a new season. We've covered quite a few systematic changes coming to Destiny 2. Sandbox changes, ritual reputation changes, and a few other details on how gameplay in general will be updated. That was all in last week's TWAB, which you can hear about on our previous podcast episode. Look at that.
Two episodes ago.
Oh, so I guess I should probably ask you to clarify. The Tuesday episodes are also going to be released on Spotify, or
yes, yeah. Everything is going up on Spotify and YouTube simultaneously.
Oh yeah,
like they're both.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, then 2 episodes ago. Many of you, and when I say many, I mean almost every single one of you, have been asking about the new stuff. What is Season of Redacted all about? And what's the next challenge our Guardians are about to face? What's going on with Redacted and their Redacted? Where's the trailer? Which subclass is getting the 3.0 treatment? There will be a day where many of your questions will be answered, but today is not that day.
Fucking
it's sad. A scary but fun balancing act in the grand scheme of things. I've said it before, but player discovery is one of the most potent things in gaming. Do we spill the details in TWABs and tweets, or do we hold things a bit closer to the chest with each season to let players dig in on day one and find out some cool things in the game itself? If you'd like to go dark, this should be one of the last Bungie communications you read before Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you'd like to get a quick taste before launch, tune in a bit earlier on Tuesday morning and keep an eye out for a countdown for our next trailer.
Ooh, the day of trailer. We love day of trailers.
The morning of trailer. So, what will be our final TWAB before launch? We've got some details on how seasonal events will be evolving, a quick spoiler-free patch note preview, a rundown on when our next dungeon is going live, and a preview of upcoming Trials of Osiris armor sets. Keep an eye out for our player support section too, as we'll be breaking down the timelines for Destiny 2 Update 4.1.0, which kicks off Season of Redacted on Tuesday. So it's
I'm so excited.
I will say, if you're reading the TWAB, it is long.
Yeah.
So when I copied and pasted the script over from their website to a Word document, it was 19 pages. That's a lot. I think that's like 2 pages longer than the big sandbox changes were when we first started recording. I think they were only 16
the episode 1 like
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So those of you guys who don't know, the way we kind of do this is I unfortunately work at the bar on Thursdays, so recording has to be done very late at night. And I don't get to look at the TWAB throughout my day because obviously I teach and then I go to the bar immediately, and there's not enough time for me to read through an entire TWAB. So Croissant, unfortunately, has most of the time goes through the TWAB on his own while I come home from work.
Yeah,
and when I come back, it's so concise and it's so put together so perfectly, and I love it. But like he does the vast majority of the scripting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I kind of enjoy reading through the raw kind of script. Just because it like we were talking about last episode is like being not as seasoned, I guess. It kind of is enjoyable for me to kind of add more knowledge to what I got going on, you know?
I mean, yeah, like because like when we divvy up what we talk about, obviously everything that I'm reading has been cut already, and I don't have that foreknowledge. So then when I say something, you've read it all the way through as it was, so you can provide that little extra. And
right.
And I wouldn't even like that's not something that I even have in my knowledge.
So it stores, makes for a well-rounded podcast. I believe
exactly. Good conversation and good vibes. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, that's all we need.
That's all we need, baby. That's all it is.
Season, brother.
New season, man. Oh, man. So I'm so excited. We'll get into the seasonal stuff kind of coming in a little bit, correct? That's
right, yeah. So it kicks off right in full swing with
in full swing.
Solstice.
Oh man, so I wanted to talk about this in particular because Solstice of Heroes, or what was previously Solstice of Heroes, is my favorite event. And I'm gonna read a little bit straight from the script, and then I'll get into my own little like mojo, and we'll kind of just talk about it from there. But each season features a special event. Examples: Guardian Games, Solstice of Heroes, Festival of the Lost, Dawning, so on and so forth. For those are those all of them? There was the Revelry, but that hasn't come around in a while.
It's just those four because they're doing one per season.
Right. Okay. And Bungie wants to take more steps toward making those events more enjoyable for both new and returning players. Solstice, the Solstice event begins on July 19th. They removed the of Heroes from the title, so it is now just Solstice. I think everybody called it Solstice though. Like I don't think I ever said, I love Solstice of Heroes. It was always man, Solstice my favorite thing ever. Like that was always just like the norm. And the one change they made, instead of completing armor objectives and collecting keys from packages consumables in the European aerial zone is what it was. You'll be completing event challenges. Instead of the armor-based ones, it is more of event stuff. I don't know exactly what that... I'm assuming it's kind of like the way that they did it in Guardian Games, where there is like playlist challenges.
Yes.
Maybe? Yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting at, what I'm taking back from this, but it is to be seen. Players will only upgrade one set of Solstice armor throughout the event, while you try to get multiple instances of helmets.
Yeah, so
like rolls?
Right. Okay. So you're gonna get one armor. So obviously, like traditionally, you would start with like that basic armor, and then once you upgraded and completed the, I guess, quests or activities that were required and reached the thresholds, you would then unlock access to another armor set. That you like. So you would start with the blues, and then you would upgrade to a legendary set.
Right.
And then you would upgrade to a glowing legendary set, I think.
Yeah, so that's the way it's been previous.
Yeah, and so now you just get one armor set from the get-go, and instead of getting like new armor sets, you're able to roll. I guess you'll be able to. My guess is you're going to be able to purchase new armor sets. Of the same like helmet, I guess. So the helmet they is the example that they give.
Right. So like you start with a legendary helmet, and then you upgrade the helmet, and then you reroll the stats.
Right. So you'll be able to buy multiple helmets, but they will be like they'll all continue the same progress, for the armor piece.
Okay. Cool. There's a new activity that they're bringing in. It is still featuring the European Aerial Zone, or the EAZ. This new activity is called Bonfire Bash, where Guardians will be building and stoking paracausal bonfires, while the enemies of Summer Fun, Taken, Cabal, Hive, and Fallen will try to put them out. This kind of gives me the vibe of Hardpoint, in the sense of you have to stoke the fire, and the longer the enemies are there, the less the less bright it is, or the less big the fire is, maybe.
So I think the way that I think it was described was that it was going to be a wave kind of based, like you're defending the flame
Okay.
from waves of enemies.
Okay. That's cool. So is it from what you kind of like, from what you read extra, is it going to be just one fire, or are there multiple throughout the arena?
So they didn't say.
They didn't state? Okay, well, that's to be seen.
So, yeah, so it could very well be multiple.
Okay,
I
cool.
think that would be cool.
Awesome. Another addition is they're introducing the event card. When Solstice begins, player will gain access to this event card from EVA, which includes new points of interest to explore, including the event challenges. That is how you upgrade your gear. Objectives rewarding gear, shaders, emblems, and event tickets. And that says not gated, so I'm assuming that is like obviously not time gated, so you can just do them endlessly as the event is. You can just grind those out. That is the grind for the event. Event seals and titles.
Well, so before the event seals, the event challenges, like you're kind of gonna want to think of it like the seasonal challenges. Like you open your quests, and at the top of your quests, you have this. I don't know where they're going to put it, but there's going to be another section that is going to have event challenges.
That's the same as if you went into like this season for Guardian games. If you went into Season of the Risen, that tab, I think it's the same thing, right? Or will they be different?
Yeah, kind of. So it's going to be like, it'll have like the similar kind of objectives as the seasonal challenges, for like getting a certain number of waves done in the Bonfire Bash, or killing a certain number of enemies during the Bonfire Bash, or
there'll probably be one for each boss type as well. Like kill this boss,
little things like that. And those challenges are going to be how you upgrade your armor.
Okay, yeah, it's all adding up.
Right.
Okay, so moving on to the event seals and titles. Individual event seals. Complete event card for seal/title progress. Guildable with more challenges unlocked after the first guild, and won't expire until the same event begins next year. So that confuses me a little bit. So you can complete an event card, you get the seal and title progress. Once you complete the title, you can guild it, and then do more challenge to guild it again. So I can guild twice in one event.
So not in the one event. So the individual event seal is like as you complete those event, like if you complete all the event challenges, you're essentially completing the event card. Like the event card contains the challenges. So to kind of make this like from beginning, you go to EVA, you pick up your event card, and that gives you access to those challenges.
Okay.
That you can then then you can see them in your quest area. Those challenges, if you complete all of them, you will essentially complete all of the requirements for getting the seal.
Okay. And then the guildable portion.
Right. So when the event ends, the seal supposedly is going to be able to be gilded throughout the other event. So my guess, and I'm not 100% on this, but when solstice ends, I guess the new I guess so it's when the season, or once the standard seal is completed, whether that's like during the event, once you complete it, gilding will be available until the same event begins again the following year.
Okay.
So
it's not event specific tasks. You just can
right.
guild it throughout the year. Okay. That's cool.
Right.
That gives me reason to play hard during the event and then acquire the title, and then I have a full year to like, which I procrastinate a lot, so that's going to be a problem. But if I get the title and I want to guild it before next solstice, which I will because I like solstice, I can grind hard the event for rolls, and then when the event is over, then I can focus on gilding as opposed to having to do it all in the 3-week period and like feel overwhelmed.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like that. So moving on, the multi-event seal, is that just kind of more same idea of challenges but across all 4 element types for the year? Earliest completion would be Guardian Games next year.
Yeah, so that one's more of like a broad just events in general.
So that's a title for participating in one or in all of the events. So Guardian Games, Solstice, Festival of the Lost, and Dawning, like it incorporates all of them into one title. That's sick.
The first one, there are going to be 4 individual event seals. There's going to be a seal for Guardian Games. There's going to be a seal for Dawning, seal for Festival of the Lost, and seal for Dawning.
Solstice.
For Solstice, yeah. and then there's going to be another seal for all of them kind of combined into one, like a general across all events.
I would consider running that if it's cool and if it's prestigious, because that shows that you played the entire year. Like that right there. If they switch up the title by year and make it different, like, and I have MMX IX, which is 2019, right? MMXIX. So I played Solstice of Heroes in 2019 specifically, which if you didn't play during that year, you don't have it, clearly. If they make the multi-event seal based on the year of Witch Queen, or like the seasons in Witch Queen, and then going forward in Lightfall, they do a different title, but it's the same concept, I think that would be really cool.
I could see it. The only thing that makes me think otherwise is the fact that it will be guildable.
Oh, true. I reading goes a long way. If I would have just looked down a line, it would have been there, and I wouldn't have said that statement.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I guess it does show, like, if you have it gilded twice and it's Lightfall, you know that you participated in the first year, which was Witch Queen. You can kind of do the math in your head. Right. So I guess that does the same thing. It serves the same purpose. Never mind.
It kind of cements the collector inside of me that is like, oh, now I have to, like, and that confirms like Destiny is gonna be still in my game rotation for the next foreseeable future.
Yeah. Which is good. We love Destiny. The more Destiny, the better. Okay. Unique event rewards. This one, interesting.
Yeah,
costs.
This one's a little weird.
I feel like this is on the monetary side of things, and I know some people get a little bit weird about when we talk about like paying extra and silver and the Eververse store, but it says costs 1,000 silver to, in air quotes, activate the upgraded event card. This gives access to multiple new emotes, shaders, ghost shells, ships, valuing over 3,000 silver. And this is not available through Eververse like in the past, potentially Eververse in the future. So it is a separate purchase, I'm assuming, from
Yeah.
Bungie's. No, where would you purchase it from?
So you,
So Steam, right?
my guess
Steam
is you're gonna probably purchase it through. I think so. I think what they mean by it is that it's kind of like a battle pass, I guess.
Okay.
And I can't believe I'm saying that, but essentially you're gonna load in. You will go to the Eververse store, and on the store page, there's gonna be the the purchase for the upgraded event card. And so like we were talking about earlier, the event card is going to be all of those challenges. It's how you're going to access all of the objectives to upgrade your armor. And by upgrading it, it will then give you access to obtaining these following kind of rewards, whether it be through you unlock a couple just by activating it, and then a couple you have to purchase, or you get the ability to purchase with the event tickets that you would receive for completing the objectives and the challenges on the card. So
Okay.
yeah, so you spend 1,000 silver, and then by playing through Solstice and completing the objectives and challenges, you are like naturally obtaining the event tickets,
Right.
and you are then able to purchase all of these items which have like a grand like estimated value of over 3,000
Over
silver.
3,000. I don't know how I feel about this, because already as it is, the events are very Eververse focused. Without this upgrade, without this 1,000 silver pay into, like you have to pay into it, right?
Right.
What is there to earn? Because Solstice last year, you earned armor alone, and everything else was Eververse.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then I guess,
Right.
well, you wouldn't be
I
earning
guess,
anything anyways if you didn't pay into it. So this gives you the opportunity to pay less for more. I guess, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
yeah. So I imagine a lot of the problem, or the upsetty spaghetti causing, was people would load in and would start playing the event, and the only way for them to obtain a lot of these rewards was by paying over 3,000 silver if they wanted to obtain everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is Bungie's way of like, you pay less,
And
but
then
you
play
have
for
to
more.
then, yeah. So it's like if you buy it and you don't play and unlock the rewards, then you essentially just wasted the silver.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
that's smart on Bungie's end.
Yeah. From
I
a
guess,
business perspective, it's genius.
Yeah, and if it's gonna make me play the game, then fuck it, you know.
Right.
But I mean,
and so they listed exactly what is going to be available for the most part. And I'll let you kind of keep going with what you're doing, if you want to.
Yeah. So the things that are available are the things that are going to be available. I will list the type, and then it's set up a little awkwardly. So the description of this is an exotic emote. It is a hot dog eating champ emote, and this is an instant unlock when you buy the 1,000 silver activation fee for the event. A sunny exotic ghost shell. Obviously, that's an exotic ghost shell that is also instant. Iris Gossamer legendary shader. That is another instant unlock. And then skateboarding emote. That's a legendary emote that is through tickets. So that is the play to earn, I'm assuming.
Correct. Yeah.
And then after that, it's to be determined, the name, but it's a legendary ghost hologram through tickets. To be determined exotic shipped through tickets. To be determined legendary ghost hologram again through tickets. And then legendary transmat effect through tickets. So that's...
Yeah.
Is that everything that you could earn from it?
That is everything that was listed. I'm sure that there's gonna be more stuff in like the weekly rotation and the kind of the Eververse in general. I'm unsure as to whether when they say that it's not going to be available through Eververse, if it just means these specific things. But surely it's not going to be. I guess surely there'll be more things to purchase if you so wanted.
They always give more than one shader, and that's all I have this time. I feel like
right. Yeah.
They do give a hint though. They give a tip, and I would strongly recommend following this. If you are unsure whether you will complete the event, wait until the last week to make sure to make the purchase for the upgrade, because it is retroactive. It's not like you have to have it to make progress. So you're going to see how many event tickets you have accumulated over the course of the event. But don't wait until the very last minute, because the event tickets will expire once the event ends. And the event card goes away. So wait until that last week, see what you've done over the course of the previous 2 weeks, make your decision there. Is it worth paying 1,000 silver for what you've earned by the tickets you have, or are you paying into the 1,000 silver and only getting 2 of the rewards out of the 6 they've listed, or whatever, is it
right?
Make that judgment call. It is your money, but I would strongly recommend doing that. I'm probably going to do that too, because
I can definitely see myself not buying the card the first week at least.
Because if the rewards aren't something that, because I don't use a ghost hologram at all, and there are 2 of them being sold for tickets, like that's if the exotic ship is great and the legend emote is fun, I would consider it. But there would have to be a lot more for me. Judging by what they've listed here, I probably won't buy it. Yeah. But I also haven't seen them yet. Like, it's all just text. So we'll see. I'm going to wait until the end. And we'll talk about it when we're in the middle of Solstice. But for now, I'm reserving judgment on what Solstice is. I like the changes they're making. And we will, we'll see. It's my favorite event, so I'm hopeful. And I'm going to play the fuck out of it regardless of if it's bad or not. That's my event. I love that shit.
Yeah. I mean, so to put things into perspective, I guess, for you, like, when I started playing Destiny 2 again, it was during Solstice last year.
Okay.
And I remember loading in and getting the basic armor set, and was like, what the hell is this? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I was completely lost. And then I just did all the challenges to I guess complete the armor set. And then it was like, okay, well, now go and get another armor set. And I'm like, but I just spent all this time getting this armor set, and I've masterworked it, and I've put all of my upgrades, and I've got my loadout set, and I've got all my stats how I want them, and now I have to go and get another set of armor. Mm-hmm. Like, it was frustrating.
The grinder in me is like loving that. Like, I love that shit.
So much time at the optimal loadout, and now I have to change. But this system directly fixes that problem.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get that one armor set, and you're gonna carry it all the way through. And if you want to change it, you're gonna be able to. I would imagine purchase different roles from Eva.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. My favorite Solstice of to date is the first one ever, but that's because I had to play all 3 characters. Most of my Titan playtime comes from that first Solstice event, because I did the Titan first because I hated it so much. And I didn't realize that you got because in the first Solstice event you didn't get a multiplier. So later on, the way the first event was is that you did the Titan armor set, then you did the Warlock armor set, then you did the Hunter armor set. There was no multipliers. Solstice after that, it was the Titan armor set, then you got a 2 times multiplier for the Warlock armor set. You completed challenges faster, and then it was a 4 times for the Hunter. So it was super easy on that third character, right, 2 hours max. the reason why Solstice 1 was my favorite is because I took 2 days off of work that in 2019. I 2 days off of work. I spent $75 on the event, bought every cosmetic instantly because they were ornaments at the time. They were selling ornaments for the final armor set.
Right.
And then sat down for 2 days straight and just played. It was my little heart. I remember my family left on like, because Solstice is like the beginning of summer, right? And they had just left for like a vacation and left me alone because I had to work. But I didn't tell them I took off work, so I had the house to myself. I like propped up in front of the big TV in the living room. I fucking posted up and I just played. I slept on the couch. I didn't even go to my room, dude. It was nerdy as fuck. It was great.
Prime time D-Gen gaming.
Prime time D-Gen gaming, and Solstice has yet to provide that kind of experience for me as like a hardcore grinder. So I'm excited for this, but I'm a little worried that it's going to be too easy like it was last year. So that's where I'm holding.
Yeah, I mean,
reservation.
Hopefully the gilding is going to be a little bit more difficult, and I'm sure like the sheer amount of challenges that they're going to implement is going to make the even unlocking the access to gild it, right? Because you have to complete the seal during the event in order to unlock the ability to gild it.
Yeah.
And
that'll put me on a timer, I think. Like it'll definitely
right
light a fire under my ass to actually do shit.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to just raid all the time.
It's cool because for people like us that maybe have a little bit more time or have a little bit more, I guess, drive to grind like that. I know earlier it said in parentheses not gated. As soon as the event goes live, like all of the challenges and objectives are all there and they're all available to do. So like with the seasonal challenges right now, it's like you unlock like 7 or 8 or 10 every week. But all of the challenges for Solstice are going to be able to be done day one, or like available to see and to progress towards day one.
I might sit down and do an entire grind session for all of them all at once. We will see.
So depending on what they are, like I'm sure there's going to be the ones that are gated by days, obviously with like the different bosses or different rotations.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's all going to be there to see, and we can kind of gauge that first Tuesday of the Solstice while we're recording. To
sometimes they kind of mix it in with moments of triumph too. Well, they have for the past 2 years, I know for sure, and so that was my like limiting factor. Like I didn't get the last Solstice title because it was mixed in with moments of triumph, and I couldn't care less. It was the armor that interested me. I could see them kind of maybe implementing it and having the multi-event seal to have to do with that, because that was like kind of the more long-term thing, you know? Yeah.
Which would be cool, I guess. Because I mean, your favorite is the Solstice, but my favorite is the Dawning.
The cookie, yes, yeah.
Because I love nothing more than to deliver cookies to Exo Stranger.
Yeah. I wonder why.
and yeah, I spent many an hour.
Yes, I remember.
In the kitchen. And up some cookies for Exo Stranger.
Homie was whipping in the kitchen for hours, just like grinding out. What was it? What was was it Banshee that had like the cookies that were just like nuts?
It was Zur.
Zur, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, the Zur cookie. Yeah, the Paracausal cookie farm was out the wazoo.
Out the wazoo. But that's it for the event changes coming to the future, like specifically Solstice, and then events like titles, entitling everything.
I think they definitely are making good steps towards making it more enjoyable and more inclusive, I guess, or more what's the word, like
accessible.
Yeah, like accessible, but also more enticing.
True.
Especially because Destiny is a game that caters to a large variety of gamers, and this one, I feel like there's a little bit for everybody in it.
I agree.
Yeah, but short and sweet. We'll talk about a couple of little patches that they are making, and these are they have a lot to do with like just a wide variety of things. There's no specific order, but just to kind of hit the UI points, there were some small changes having to do with like scalability and of like I believe the destinations tab on your kind of header in your menu, where to make it a little bit more scalable. There was an issue with the title screen and having like a larger aspect ratio, and there would be like a visual bug, and there was some roster inconsistency on how it was listing all the members in your fire team and your roster on consoles. And they say that they have fixed those. In the Dares of Eternity, these strange coins that you earn for doing the normal dare has been changed from 1 to 3. So they increased it by 2 to kind of make farming those dares a little bit more efficient when you're trying to get the strange coins to get the packages and the various rewards that the horse and Xur offer. This does not affect the lightning rounds though, so those are always going to be the same. Obviously the lightning rounds give you a little bit more naturally, so if they just bumped each chest from 1 to 3, then you're going to get
9.
like 12 keys per, which is
I thought it was. I could be tripping. I haven't been in Dares of Eternity for a very long time, so you.
Or so it's 4, yeah. So it's the main one, and then there's 3 extra chests.
Oh right, yeah. My fault.
Yeah,
right. I can't math.
So, standard power progression change with the new season is going to be the traditional plus 10 power cap increase. So, soft cap will be 1510. Hard cap will be 1560, and then pinnacle cap will be 1570.
Yeah.
Vault space.
This was big. Oh my god, I got to back up for this.
So it's a little bit big, it's big, but it's not too big. So they're increasing it by 100. So your vault will now be able to hold 600 instead of 500. And Bungie put a little note, say that while we know this doesn't enable players to save every single piece of loot in the game, the team was able to pull some strings and get a little bit more space for your vaults as they continue to investigate future solutions. Those last couple of words are the plus 100 is fantastic and I'm ecstatic about it, but I'm really interested in seeing their future solutions. Because
my vault has been full. I don't want to say full. I don't keep multiple copies of things like some people do. Okay, I have a problem right now with armor in my vault because I'm very like stat oriented right now. So I got a lot of like different armor sets for different statted things, but I don't keep multiple weapons. Like I will have one roll. I'm a PvE oriented player, so I'll have one PvE based roll of any given weapon in the game. One. I know people who have 3 different rolls of palindrome. You know what I mean? I know people who have like Ikelos SMG, they got 3 of them, one for each character. Cartesian coordinate when that came out when Xur was selling it last season and fusions were nuts. I know people who bought 3 and then didn't have to transfer it over anymore.
Man, are you looking through my vault right now?
Am I looking through your vault? Yeah, I actually have it pulled up on the side monitor.
I literally have 3 Cartesians. I have 3 palindromes. I have I think I have how many Ikelos? I think I only have 2 Ikelos SMGs.
Like it's to the point where I only keep adept weapons and then perfect god rolls, and my vault is still full. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't have any I have some sunset weapons. Like, I got rid of my mountaintop. I don't have that anymore. I have my
3.
I have my what's it called? You have 3 what?
No, I have 3 Ikelos.
Oh, okay. I was like 3 mountaintops. What the fuck? I have I have my recluse still, but I mean, I don't need it. I can get rid of it at any time. I don't have the Wendigo, any sunset. I have the Not Forgotten just because like that's, I don't know. I have all my Better Devils still, both copies, just because that's like meaningful to me. And there's 50,000 kills between the two of them, so like I'm not getting rid of that shit. But like nothing is duplicated that hard, and nothing is like I don't have much sunset stuff. So Mindbenders obviously, but like the fact that I'm getting an extra 100 to work with, I can work with that for the next 2 years. Because like I've been playing Destiny for the 500 has lasted me 4 years, and as soon as I deal with like what armor sets I want to keep, and once I go through that, that'll last me 2 years for sure. Easy. Yeah. So it's huge for me, and it's probably not going to be enough for the people who hoard like crazy, but I don't.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, my vault is 500 out of 500.
What am I sitting at?
My Warlock is used as a vault extension.
Ooh.
So
that hurts me a little bit.
I have 10 kinetics, I have 10 energy, and I have 10 power weapons all stored on my Warlock that I literally just keep there just to have the space.
Just to have space. That's crazy. I'm at 476 right now, and I have a lot of red bordered weapons in my vault right now that needs to be done. But like, I have 2 Ikelos sniper rifles. One is 4th times, one is triple tap, just scenario based. I could probably, for some reason, I don't know why I have this. I have 3 Manananan SR4s, and that just shows my age. Because in year 1 of Destiny 2, you could switch the element of any weapon at will. So I have one that is solar, one that is void, and one that is orc, and I don't even know why.
The sense of so value.
I don't even know why, because like now you can't change it, and it's not a gun that is ever coming back. It's just a scout with explosive payload. That's it, and I have 3 of them, and I don't want to get rid of them. I don't know why I'm attached to them. There's literally no reason, but I have those. But other than that, nothing is duplicated. I'm just looking at my vault now. We could do a whole episode on vaults, dude. We could sit down and talk about rolls all day long. That might be.
I'm gonna DM Datto and see if he'll clean my vault for me.
Clean your vault. Listen, I genuinely believe if when this podcast pops off, if Datto ever listens to episode 3 of After Hours at the Tower, Datto, swing through my vault. I guarantee you are gonna be. This is the cleanest, most PVE oriented vault you will ever see. There is not one thing in this vault that you would like question. Minus the 3 Manananan SR4. Minus those, because those are a little ridiculous and out there. But I feel like my vault is like completely reasonable. I still have my inaugural address because this gun is like classic. That is a fucking outlaw kill clip in year 1. Are you serious? That's nuts. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I think we should do an episode on vaults.
Yeah, it could be an entire episode.
For sure. We should move on before we get too sidetracked.
Moving on from the glory of the vault space, there was a little issue where after the daily reset or the weekly reset on Tuesday, people were loading into where Xur was located, and they were still seeing him there. And when they would go and talk to him, he would have different like roles and different like a different inventory than he was advertised for the weekend. And so people were able to just go and buy new stuff from him. And they fixed that. So now at weekly reset, 100% he's not going to be there. So don't even bother to go look. But I feel like there's still going to be a bunch of people that will. But I'm not one of those people.
No.
I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Had no idea.
Right. And then to wrap up the patch notes, they made a little change to the Scorn crossbow enemies. They increased their damage by 300% to ensure that players will always be one shot by their attacks, no matter their power level or how many damage resist modifiers they have equipped.
Nice. We love that. All right. Dungeon diving. We're talking about the dungeon coming up on Friday, May 27th.
Listen. Okay, it was a joke. It was a joke. Okay. They got me when I was reading this.
Take it back a little
They
bit.
got you when you were reading it.
Absolutely, they got me.
Anybody who's reading the 12 got hands down. Guarantee. There's nobody who didn't fall for this. They immediately after that statement, they have 3 bullet points. The first one says, "Don't worry, that's a joke." Second one says, "Had you there for a second, didn't I?" And the third one says, "Here is the real patch note in which they have reduced the Scorn sniper damage to match the other combatant snipers. And they increased the spread of the projectiles that they shoot to reduce the instances of multiple projectiles hitting one player."
So they basically just do less death damage than a hobgoblin, because that's all that damage is in one. Basically,
Right.
Like one,
Right.
if like I'm assuming all of the damage, like the intended damage, happens when you get hit by all 3 bolts,
Right. I believe that's the case.
and then if you get hit by 1 or 2, that's
Yeah.
2/3
yeah.
the intended damage. Yeah, so like they're not going to be that big a problem.
Right. I think this
I'm
is
not-
more for like when players are kind of bunched up.
Right.
They're going
I
to
see
be
what
more
you're saying.
likely hit by these projectiles. This hopefully will make them a little bit more tolerant.
Mm-hmm.
They were bad.
They were brutal, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I read the increased damage by 300%, I peed a little bit. Like I was, it was not. I was very afraid. But we're good now. We're
I feel
fine.
that adrenaline coursing through my body. Like, oh man, drop the address, Bungie. You just want to talk, man.
Yeah, man. I need to pull up, and I just want to talk, bro. It's, man. World Star coming up with a right hook. Jesus. But yeah, no. Those are the patch notes, and we will actually get into the dungeon. This section is titled Dungeon Diving, and on Friday, this is huge. I love this. This is what I live for, baby. Dungeon Diving Friday, May 27th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Recommended power 1550. There is a new dungeon coming out, which means a new day 1 race. This is what I live for. I'm so excited. Krasant and I are both competing, this time on different teams. And I know this is the first time that we are bringing this up to the public. We are on differing teams, and Krasant is a bitch for that one.
I'm a
not gonna lie.
traitor.
He is a traitor, but I totally get it
Traitor.
because his team is very capable, and I'm very, very excited for him.
Yeah.
Man.
So it's normal reset time, 10 a.m. Pacific. That's when the servers will go live. And people, I'm assuming when you launch in, and this is a little pro racer tip. When you load into Destiny, when the season changes and when Solstice goes live, you're probably going to be put into the Bonfire Bash activity. Leave that shit. Abandon. Go to Orbit.
Abandon. Fuck
Go to
the other
Orbit.
people you're put in with. There's
You need
5 other
to get
people that
the-
can handle it.
the dungeon and get going.
Yeah.
Because the team that I am participating with did just that, and they got world's first on the previous dungeon.
Yeah. They
So
hit
I'm
world's
not
first
saying
by
that is
5 minutes.
literally the reason, but I think if you do that, your chances of getting a better placement are instrumentally, like it's just
Mhm.
crazy because the dares took what, like 11 minutes,
Yeah,
something like that.
It took us a lot off the top, and then we had
Yeah.
to, not only that, but we were in different instances because we weren't partied up beforehand because it just automatically launched us. So we had to wait for
We had to wait for
everybody in our
the
team to be done.
Right. And that's also a thing. Pro race tips. If you're in the game and in orbit and one of your fire team members isn't, just start the dungeon anyways.
Yeah,
just get going solo if you have to,
Mm-hmm.
and let them join in.
500, you'll be okay.
It's literally, yeah. And those are just like some pro tips right there.
He's going to a world's first team and he already knows everything. I can't even with this dude.
Listen, I got some DMs from some people. Hence why I said I was gonna hit up Dado.
I see. Okay. I got you. Hey, listen. All I'm saying is that at the end of this, May 15th, sorry, whoa, what the fuck? May 27th at like 1 p.m., you're gonna have a world's first, and then you have a 1-up on Dado. That's all I'm saying. Or you leave our team, and we replace you, and we get world's first, and we know it was all because you were around.
Mm-hmm.
That we. I can't even say that shit with a straight face. But mark your calendars, May 27th at 1 a.m. Pacific. This dungeon goes live, and I promise you, I'm gonna be going nuts on it. This is what I live for. Swing through. I'm gonna plug myself right now. I can't help but do it. I play Destiny for day ones, and if you want to watch, you want to swing through, participate in the day one race, I will be live streaming it on Twitch, twitch.tv/Krusty11. Swing through and hang out and watch me crush Croissant's day one team, crush his dreams of having the 1-up on Dado. You know what I mean? Because now I got the strats. You know what I mean? He's completely just outed the strats to me. Now I know.
Listen, man, I'm just trying to help the less fortunate, you know?
The less fortunate. I can't with this dude. He's getting a big head, man. Fame's going to his head. It's not even happened yet.
Well, so there's going to be a couple of really cool rewards that you can get from this dungeon. And I'm particularly happy with the first one. So there's going to be 1 legendary armor set per class available. However, if you complete it on the master version, which is also available day one, it's going to once again offer artifice armor, which will have that extra seasonal artifact mod slot. And it's fantastic because farming Grasp is boring. And so having a new dungeon to run through to get the same kind of artifice armor, but have it be the new armor set, is going to be cool.
Yep, I agree. I love the artifice armor set.
Yeah, I'm happy that they're bringing artifice into other armor sets too. It seems like a very cool thing to grind towards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember
more efficient because artifice armor, like obviously you grind GOA for that, and it's like fuck, that's just so boring. So like if there's a specific, it just could be more efficient to farm the final boss of the new one. Right.
There's going to be 4 new legendary weapons. No information further is given about them. It's just that there are 4 of them. They're going to be they exist and they will be cool, hopefully. There's going to be 2 legendary reprised weapons, and that's also all that they give us. So we were talking about it earlier, and I think you said that it could potentially be from either old Destiny 2 or even from Destiny 1.
Yeah, so Destiny 1 reprised as in like 1,000 Yard Stare, IS Luna, or Destiny 2 reprise as in like I know they've done it before, Uriel's Gift, which would piss me off because that's like the 3rd time they've done it. But you know what I mean? Like those kind of guns that are just like sunset, not around anymore. I'm leaning more toward like D1, like classics.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be a safe assumption.
Mm-hmm. They're also bringing an exotic weapon and an exotic catalyst, kind of like they did with Gallarhorn and the Gallarhorn's catalyst. I presume it'll be another classic from D1, but Gallarhorn was a little bit of a selling point.
Yeah,
so it could
that
be
was
brand
kind of
new.
right. I'm curious regardless.
Hmm. Is it because they usually bring out, obviously every season they bring out a new seasonal exotic. I'm curious to know if this one is going to be, because like obviously this season it was the Grand Overture. Is this their replacement or is this a separate thing?
I would imagine it's going to be separate.
Hmm. I presume so because, like why would it be? Because the season pass should have an exotic in it, a new exotic, and then this one will
Right.
be dungeon related.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's the
yeah.
case.
Yeah. They come up with an exotic accessory, which is a ship and a sparrow, and then 2 legendary emblems, which is a regular completion and a flawless completion. There's no way that that's not how that works.
Yeah, I
Solo
think
flawless,
that
sorry, solo flawless. I gotta make that very clear. That's how that's gonna work.
dude, I'm excited. I mean, I I was fortunate enough, and I think this was a big kind of thing that we were upset about, was the fact that they are just now releasing this as of Thursday. So that is 8 calendar days before the dungeon release.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not enough time for most people.
yeah, so a lot of business etiquette says it's proper etiquette, I guess, to request days off 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
And that is half of that. So
I definitely gonna have to like.
yeah, I mean, I
swindle
was
some
fortunate enough in my situation to where I was able to get the time off, but I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to do that, and sucks for you guys.
Yeah, literally. I'm a fucking teacher, and I work like I literally have to be.
Get that world first in the car on the way to your job.
Yeah, get that shit in, bro. Not gaming hard enough, stupid. Yeah, literally, that's what it comes down to. I don't know. It is upsetting, but they could have given the release date for the dungeon a little earlier. They didn't have to say anything, but like, even mark your calendars for May 27th. That is very obviously something.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I would have booked off.
Yeah, the only reason that I could think of that it was like an issue or that it took so long, because normally, like in the past, Bungie's been very good about giving ample time, right? And so it makes me almost wonder if maybe there were some stipulations that prevented them from releasing it like on like an original, like their roadmap, I guess.
Maybe. I mean, it would like who knows the intricacies, but it is like I would prefer that they give a little bit more time for something like this, because this is why I play the game. Yeah. And I would be very heartbroken if they're like, "Yep, next like right on this Friday." I'd be like, "Well, fuck, like that's literally tomorrow. Like, fuck me."
Yeah. Well, so to get your hands on this dungeon, there are a couple of ways that you can obtain it. The first is if you already have the digital deluxe edition of the Witch Queen, you automatically get it. You also get access to the season 19 dungeon, and I believe you get access to the raid that is coming next season.
It's the reprised raid, yes.
Yeah, the reprised raid.
Yeah.
And the season passes for all the way through season 19.
Right. And if you just want the dungeons, that's totally fine. You can pick like both paths of like you can buy the dungeon key from the Ever Restore for 2,000 silver, and that will give you access to both sets of new dungeons coming within the year of Witch Queen. So that's right. Like if you're not looking for the raid that comes out, and you're not looking for the big purchase of the deluxe edition, you can buy the dungeons specifically, which is good.
Correct. But yeah, I mean, keep your eye on Bungie's store. Because they mentioned something about a 25% off sale potentially next week for the digital edition. So if you still don't have it, there's going to be I mean, obviously, like the 25% off, it's directly related to the fact that arguably 25% of the digital deluxe edition is already come and gone with this season. But
yeah,
I digress.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't disagree. I'm not going to disagree with you because that's 100% accurate. But enough about the dungeon. We save the date in your calendars, May 27th at 10 p.m. 10 p.m., 10 a.m. Pacific. Jesus Christ. Moving on. Trials. This is huge for you Trials nerds. This weekend is Freelance Trials, but with zone control. New loot will be available starting June 10th. Fusion rifle and sidearm, as well as a new armor set. There will also be 2 cosmetic sets available, along with a new Ghost Shell and Sparrow called the Falcon's Chase, which I would recommend looking at in the actual TWAB because it looks great. It looks dope as hell.
Absolutely. The armor set, they said that they wanted to kind of dive deeper into that Trials kind of armor feel in their designs. And they definitely do. I think they did just that.
That's it. That's all they said on Trials. There's not much else. We have we know what the armor looks like. We know the 2 new weapons coming to the rotation, and I think the things that are being replaced are Summoner and something else. I'm not too versed in Trials, guys. I'm so sorry, but the Summoner is going away, being replaced by the Fusion Rifle. Sidearm is replacing something else. So you guys can look forward to that. The new armor set looks great. Exotic Sparrow and Shell. Super excited.
Yeah. So moving on to the Bungie Foundation. This is the 8th anniversary of Bungie participating in the Gauntlet tabletop fundraiser.
8 years old. God damn.
Basically, it is a different, I believe, different foundations kind of compete against each other. It's like a friendly competition, and their goal is to raise funds for important causes. And this year, this weekend that they're participating, they are going to raise funds for Xenomath. And Xenomath is a group that tries their mission is to spark joy and inspire a love of math in youth, children, and families through racial equality, family engagement, and play, all centered in the experience of communities of color. So they take a more play-based approach to teaching math to younger kids, and obviously they believe that the math skills and abilities are essential to leading a full and robust life. I agree with this. As a I never finished my degree, but I went to school for engineering, and math is cool.
Yeah, math is cool.
Math is cool.
So when I teach addition and subtraction to my very young students, I draw a number line on the floor, and I quite literally jump from number to number. So I will at the front of the classroom, I'll start at 0 or whatever, and I'll be or I'll start at whatever number. So 5 plus 5, right? We start at 5, right, and we add 5, and I will quite literally jump across the classroom 5 times and show them that it is the act of you don't count counting on stuff. You don't count at 5, start at 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, and land on 9. No, you count when you jump, when you land. So math can be fun. It can be taught in a fun way, and I think the retention comes when it's done in a fun way.
Right.
If you make it a game and you make it a visual, it sticks in the head, it sticks in the minds of kids way more.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I could talk about this shit all day long. This is obviously my full-time profession, so it's man, that whole conversation. I was literally gonna make a joke because as Xenomath, I was gonna be man, Xenomath, fucking I prefer Xenophage, but I would prefer Xenomath, to be honest. But
Xenomath pops off. So their donation page link is in the TWAB. I'm sure they've tweeted it out as well. The deadline to commit support is going to be this Sunday, May 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. Anybody who donates $25 in a single donation to the team page will receive the Vens Pulsar emblem, which will be distributed by Friday, June 10th. It is pretty cool. I like it. I don't know if I would use it, but I think just the idea of being able to donate for the cause like that is reason enough.
Yeah, I donate
and-
and not use the emblem.
Yeah. So if you do donate, I believe they want you to. Okay, so you just need to put the email that you want while you're donating, and a redemption code will be emailed to you to that email address.
In all honesty, like with this emblem in particular, my personal opinion, I would donate $25 and fuck the emblem. It is the cause that matters. Like the emblem, in my opinion, is not the greatest. It is kind of like this is like part of the Lost episode series, but like the what was the 30th one? What was that called?
Dry Sister.
Dry Sister. Yeah, that one. That was a weird emblem. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was kind of goofy, but
It was strange.
yeah,
It's like a Windows 2.
Windows 2. Yeah, exactly. So, donate to a good cause, because like education is everything. You know, I wouldn't be where I am without the education that I got. And I think I can say the same for Krishan. I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but like if you're listening to this podcast, you are you because of education in some way. So, you know, just it is definitely a good cause. You learned how to be you because somebody taught you how to be you, in a way.
Right.
That's a little excessive, but in a way.
Taught you how to, I guess,
express yourself and
yourself, and understand what it means to be you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is literally me being just like teacher mode come out, like just the education.
This is an aspen tree. You can tell it's an aspen because of the way that it is.
The way that it is. Exactly. Jesus Christ.
You are you because of the way that you are.
Listen, that video cracks me up because I've literally had young kids explain shit like that, and it's so funny.
That's old school.
Yeah.
I hope you listeners are enjoying the reference and understand it.
Yeah, I hope.
Quovi, if you're listening to this and you don't understand it,
we got a problem.
Google it.
Google it. Google aspen tree, please. Oh my god. All right. Well, yeah, donate to this foundation. Donate to this charity event. It's totally worth it. And good karma will come your way. I promise. Good RNGesus. Right, Destiny. You want that God roll?
Yeah, hopefully a little bit better than the raid day one.
You want that God roll? Fucking $25. Okay. But yeah, no. So the release date of the Season of Redacted, we're just kind of gonna keep it moving here. Is May 24th. There will be Destiny 2 will undergo scheduled downtime at 9 a.m. Pacific to 11 a.m. Pacific on May 24th. The scheduled downtime, the scheduled timeline for the release is maintenance is scheduled to begin. Destiny 2 is brought offline. Destiny 2 will be brought back online, and update 4.1.0 will be playable on all platforms and regions. And then Destiny 2 maintenance is scheduled to complete an hour after that. So there'll be a little bit of background maintenance, but there is no downtime after 10 a.m. Pacific. The maintenance is complete right at launch of the season. Right at reset.
It's literally the standard
same as it always
standard
is.
daily release schedule. And the weekly the reset.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it goes down for 45 minutes, or they start doing background 45 minutes before, they go down for 15 minutes, and then there's an hour of more background maintenance after it comes back online.
Mm-hmm.
So, but before that maintenance happens, there are a couple of things that you should get done. Okay, so if you want the following pins or the following kind of things to buy from the store, like you have to complete these before the reset on May 24th. So if you want the 2022 Guardian Games tankard, which you get from lighting the platinum pillars 6 times, the 2022 Guardian Games medal, which I'm assuming you get from attending the closing ceremony. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Couldn't tell.
If you want the Psionic Operator long sleeve shirt from the Bungie store, I would imagine that it has something to do with the Project Elbrus, the seasonal kind of story quest line. And if you want the Val the Disciple pin, the Witch Queen Legendary pin, and the Risen Seal collectible medallion pin, all of those are tied to completing the respective seals. So completing all of the Disciple Slayer title seal gets you access to the pin. Completing the campaign on Legendary gives you the respective pin, and completing the Risen title. So you can't earn them after May 24th, but you can purchase them from the store all the way up until the 31st. So you still got a month to kind of, save up a little bit of money if you really want to get those pins. I know I'm going to buy a couple.
You have, as of time of recording, you have 11 days, not a month. It's this month.
The rest
end of this month. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So sorry, it's closer than I was thinking when I said that. So, and absolutely make sure that you claim all of your rewards from your ritual vendors. Yes. Because so hit up Zavala, hit up Shax, hit up Banshee, hit up everybody, get all your engrams open. I have like 60 engrams in for like all of them. It's going to be a nightmare trying to go through that with a full vault.
Good shards though.
True.
It's gonna be huge. At Jelly, who has like 170 of those fucking things.
So, this wasn't mentioned in this TWAB, but crafting items, crafting materials I believe are changing next season. So, from what I have heard and what I remember correctly, hopefully it's right, they are removing all of the crafting materials apart from the neutral elements, which is like the base. Yeah. So if you have like a couple hundred items or a couple hundred like ruinous elements or whatever, that's going to go away. So if you have them, just spend them. It's going to be so easy to get the neutral elements because that's literally the only one you're going to be able to get. So just spend them.
Mess around.
Spend them or lose them.
Yeah.
And so to kind of wrap the season up, they are Bungie is doing a special kind of giveaway. They have
this is cool.
They commissioned 2 artists to celebrate the end of the season of the Risen by creating 7 life-sized models of the Synaptic Spear, which is the if you're doing the psyops and you go to the helm, you can see them. They're all stored in that hallway as you go into the war table. And these 7 1-to-1 sized models of the spear will be given away by 1 per each of the following regions: in the US, the UK, Italy, Germany, France, Japan, and the ANZ, which we have deduced that is the Australia, New Zealand region. And so it's going to be 1 per region. The giveaways are going to be handled by each of their respective regions' social accounts. So my guess is that they're probably going to be posted on both like Twitter and like Facebook and all of that kind of stuff. So if you're in those regions or around those regions, go ahead and make sure you drop a follow on their Twitter account and turn the notifications on, because they're going to be sick. So I know we're kind of going a little bit extra on the time, but the group that is making these is called Has Foundry, which is the Henshin Scrap Foundry. They are phenomenal. They have a very small following on Twitter. I've been following them for a while.
Really?
They're based out of Australia, and they do all kinds of props for cosplayers.
Really?
All kinds of 1-to-1 scale models of things. They do 3D printing. They do ironworking. They do like blacksmithing. They do resin printing.
They do background stuff from them. That'd be sick.
They do a phenomenal job. Like they're crazy. And I guess the reason that they chose Has Foundry is that they've worked with Blizzard in the past. They've worked for Bethesda. They've done a couple of things of like that. But definitely drop them a follow on Twitter as well, because they're nuts.
Yeah, that's exciting. And to wrap up the TWAB and this episode, we get some words from DMG himself, and this is titled "The Anticipation," which I think is very fitting for where we're at right now. And he says, "Well, that's a wrap. Your final TWAB before season of Redacted. Now all that's left is a week of freelance zone capture trials and maybe a few triumphs standing between you and the Season of the Risen title. We'll see you again next Tuesday, patch notes and all. Cheers, DMG04." And that is that. That is that's all she wrote. That is all the information we're here to give you, and I hope it was as bite-sized as it could possibly be, because Croissant had his work cut out for him this time.
It was crazy long. If some of the things, like, I know we went over a lot of things pretty quickly and pretty vaguely, I think we hit the solstice pretty well. However, I condensed what was previously like 3 or 4 pages down into 1.5 pages. So definitely, if you're still having questions about that, go and check out the TWAB, go read through it. They have a lot of good information, but they also have a lot of information as to why that they're making those changes and why they're implementing the things that they're doing. And it kind of gives you a little bit more of a personal involvement with like Bungie. It's like, I definitely, like, if you're crunched for time, pressed for time, like, I can understand. Like, I know a lot of people prefer to listen to the TWABs being read out, but they do a really.
I get it read out to me by Croissant's silky smooth voice every time we go and script this shit. So, right. and then I relay it at a shittier, shittier level to you guys. So basically, you guys are really losing, to be honest, because I could just let him talk the whole time and then upload it and say I had a part in it. But, right. But anyways, I gotta get out of here. It is 2:19 in the morning currently as of recording. So thank you guys for listening. See you guys on Tuesday for a less informational video, but still just as entertaining.
It's gonna pop off.
Pop off, man. Everybody be safe. Don't get murdered. And we'll see you guys in a couple days.
Take it easy.